pull up me talking points so that I don't ramble incessantly. Yeah, let's get going. All right, welcome back to the show. So, a little while ago, I said that there may be some more motorcycle stuff going on the channel, and here we are on the bike again. I'm sure many of you guys are like, well, where's the gaming stuff? That's why I'm here. I really did try to put some Rebel Galaxy Outlaw stuff out, but it didn't pan out the way I wanted to. It really didn't. Maybe I'm too critical of myself, but it would not have made for any enjoyable viewing. So while I'm trying to come up with some sort of video gaming content on the channel, because I do still want to do that, we're here to chat a little bit about bikes and riding, and specifically today, as you can probably see if you're reading my script, don't do that, spoilers. We're talking about riding in the city, specifically a couple of ways that, or rather, a couple of things that I do to make riding in the city easier, safer, all that good stuff. So, without, a big laborious intro, let's dive right in. And the first thing that I'm going to say is don't go very fast. In the city, you're never going to set any kind of speed records. You just aren't. And there's no speed record worth setting in a city anyway. So just go slow. Just take it easy. When you're in the city, shit's going to jump out at you, especially, so this is 6th Street, specifically Dirty 6th in Austin. And if you're looking at all the fine establishments here, and I say fine in air quotes, because I actually really don't like this part of town. But anyway, it's all bars. And they actually shut 6th Street down, but especially in the area surrounding it, this place just gets filled with drunken dummies all the time. And there's these people on Lime scooters that can't decide whether they're a car, a bike, a pedestrian, or whatever. So the slower you go, when something stupid happens in front of you, the faster you're going to have, or the faster you're going to be able to react to that something stupid. Because it's not a matter of when, or it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Dumb shit is always going to happen to you no matter what you do, so give yourself plenty of time to react to it. Next thing is leave plenty of lead distance between you and the car in front of you, okay? The cars in front of you are, and they talk about this a little bit at the MSF course, they're a good indicator of road conditions ahead of you, whether or not somebody is loading or unloading their truck, and your lane gets blocked. Cars are going to slow down and get over. If the road's bumpy, especially at night, you'll see the brakes, the brake lights on the car bouncing up and down. You let those cars hit all the obstacles in front of you, and you should just sit back and ride. There's no point in being right up on his ass, because if I do, if I get really closer than I'm comfortable with, actually. If I'm getting this close, I can see a little bit through their windows, but I can't see under their car. So there could be a pothole that they are able to ride over because they're 2-track versus my 1. So just give them some lead distance. Going along with that, the next tip is come to a stop slowly. There's no point in coming to a sudden and jerky stop. There's no point coming up, being real close to this guy, and then slamming on my brakes. If I slam on my brakes like that, the guy behind me, who in this case is a big ass GMC, he can't react nearly as fast as I can. There's no way that 4,000 pound plus truck is ever going to outstop my 500 pound plus motorcycle with dual discs up front and a big single disc in the back. No way. Even without ABS, this bike will always outstop any car. So just don't jam on your brakes unless you want to get hit from behind. And getting hit from behind sucks. You know, there's ways that you can minimize some of that damage, and that's to keep moving and stop slow. So these guys behind you can actually stop on time. Now, next tip comes in the form of when you are stopped at a stoplight, don't just sit in neutral. Sitting in neutral means that you cannot put power to your rear wheel. Now, if for some reason you can see or feel something coming, because sometimes you get that second sense about it all. If you feel like you need to go for whatever reason and you're in neutral, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do. Sometimes you're observant enough to catch the guy who's running up behind you because they're on their cell phone and doesn't see you, and you can avoid getting popped from behind. But you can only do that if you're in gear. And this is a habit that a lot of riders, myself included, struggle with, especially in the city, because A, you're going slow, B, you're stopping a lot, and C, you're hot and tired. So you're tending to just sit there, pull your hand off the clutch so you don't have to be squeezing all the time, lean back and wait for your opportunity to move. But it's always better to just leave the bike in gear. And a kind of spin-off point to that is don't leave your bike in like second or third. I do that sometimes where I'm just not paying attention and I just squeeze the clutch and come to a full stop. Bumpy roads here, a lot of road construction. So I'm coming to a stop, I'm not really paying attention, just squeeze the brake, come to a full stop, and then I'd go when the light turns green, and I'm in third gear, and it takes, you know, a half a turn to get my bike to even crawl forward. There are some cases, some minor cases, where you're on like a big ass thumper motor, or you're on a big old Harley with a ton of torque, where you can get away with it. But just in general, it's easier to be in first at a stoplight. Even if your first to second isn't very smooth, consider it an opportunity to practice that 1-2 shift, which actually takes kind of a lot of finesse. Good grief, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Can't really see past it all. But anyway, yeah, always be in first gear when you're coming to a full stop. Now, this next thing really kind of only focuses on full stops at stoplights or stop signs. And usually, I don't want to say 100% of the time because it's not, but usually you're going to encounter this issue at big intersections. But a lot of times, especially here in Austin, and I've lived in 3 cities in my life: Chicago, Madison, Austin. I've spent a lot of time traveling in all of the cities, all the major cities in Texas and Atlanta. I've been all over the country. Austin is one of the worst cities for this, and that is people who race that yellow light. People in Austin, and I don't get it, because the city's so laid back. So where are these people going in such a hurry? But they always need to race that yellow light. So don't leave, even though you have the right of way, a green light without making sure that every car that's there has come to a full stop. Because if they're not at a stop, they're moving. You know, it's on or off. They're either moving or they're not. And if they're moving, they can hurt you. And the last thing you want to do is get T-boned by some asshole who's more concerned with their Candy Crush level than you on your bike. Because as a motorcyclist, nothing has stunned me more than the amount of times that I can sit at a stoplight, look around, and see people doing shit on their phones that I wouldn't do, like, if I was at home. You know, they're trying to type out their dissertation on their cell phone while they're driving in their car. It's like, dude, wait 20 minutes. But here in Austin, that just doesn't happen. We can actually have a little bit of fun on this roundabout here. Yeah, so actually it's kind of dirty. Sorry, I'm focusing here. You gotta do it. Every now and again, you gotta do it. Yeah, just don't leave that stoplight early. It's an easy way to, keep yourself in one piece. And of course, you're gonna get those people behind you who are like, motherfucker, go, honk, 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 honk. They give you the like 1-2 honk kind of thing. And I used to do that, but ever since I moved down to Texas, I just kind of don't care anymore. It's hot as hell outside. I'm just sitting in my AC. I got nowhere to be because traffic's fucking awful. So I've stopped caring about that, like, 1-2 honk. I don't do that anymore. But you're always going to get somebody who does that. But it's better that you know you're safe than you appease some random stranger behind you by, throttling out right away. And of course, you're going to have to resist the temptation to, when, some idiot in a Challenger is sitting next to you, revving their engine, being like, come on, bro, come on, you want to go? No, thanks. What do you want to do? Race to the next red light? Fuck that shit. I'll sit here, thanks. You eat the T-boning pickup truck because some dude's more concerned with his phone than street laws. It seriously is stunning around here. Little bit of a VTEC send right there. And then the last thing I want to mention is this is specific to riders who have comm systems. So I have a Cardo Pack Talk Slim, which is awesome. I love it to bits. It's so much fun to be riding, and look at this fucking view here, by the way. This is why I love Austin. It's so easy to just be riding down the street, listening to your music, zoning out, and not hear shit that's going on around you, okay? Especially if you're riding like you should, with earplugs in. If you're riding with earplugs in, you, especially if your music is loud to compensate for that, you're going to have a hard time hearing anything around you. Now, I'm not going to say you're not going to hear sirens, because you will. They'll just be faint. But you certainly won't hear certain car horns, like this Ford, whatever it is. I guarantee you it's got a little meep horn like my bike does. I won't hear it. I won't hear it over my music. I won't hear it through my earplugs. So turn your music down when you're in the city. People really usually only beep if something's going wrong. There's this like weird sense that I get about people that they only want to beep when they're when they're sensing a major problem, where they're particularly incensed because they've been sitting in traffic for too long. But I digress. Just don't listen to your music too loud. 1, 2, or 3 notches up is fine for me. I've noticed maybe my hearing is more sensitive than others, because I've heard people saying they listen to their music on full volume. That's insane to me. But yeah, just turn it down a little bit. No point in getting hit by something that you could have heard if your music was low. So to make a long story short, kind of summarize the points that I made here, is you want to go slow, leave a nice lead distance, between you and the car in front of you. Stop slow. When you come to that full stop, don't sit in neutral. When you're getting ready to go, don't just jump on the throttle and then turn your music down. You know, there's just a couple of nice little tips, and some of these, of course, are going to be things that you heard in the MSF, or, you know, it just seemed like common knowledge, but I think it's better to reiterate an obvious point than have somebody get popped because I could have told them something that I thought was obvious. So that's the meat and potatoes of the video today. Hopefully you guys will find it useful. And if you are out there in my gaming audience and are at all interested in riding a motorcycle, hopefully these rules will give you a little bit of an idea of what it's like being out on a bike in the city. So on that note, I'm going to end it. I'm going to go home and turn my bike off because I saw it look down. It was 243 degrees, and that is hot for this motorcycle. So I'm going to go put it out of its misery a little bit, let it cool off in my garage. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Little Grom guy to say goodbye. Bye-bye, Grom.